Welcome to a new episode of Vijnana Vidhi. How are you? Hope you all are in good health. Okay, today we are going to deal with a particular thing, a different kind of lesson that we are going to deal today. What is that? Can you guess? Yes, it's the grammar part of first unit. Okay, and by hearing the word grammar, you may not like it sometimes, but here I am going to teach you the simple grammar. It's very easy for you to understand. So let us start. Okay, first of all, the degrees of comparison. Have you heard about it? Yes, I know you all are familiar with this grammar part. Which are the three degrees of comparison? Can you tell me? Yes, positive, comparative and superlative. These are the three degrees of comparison. And what do you mean by positive degree? A positive degree is a simple sentence or a simple statement is called a positive degree. Here is an example for you. Ramu is an old man. Ramu is an old man. Here see the highlighted word old. Okay. This is a simple sentence. This is called a positive degree. And what do you mean by a comparative degree? By hearing that word, we will be able to understand what is a comparative degree. What do you mean by that? Yeah, here we will compare two things, to persons, to animals. Whatever it is, we are comparing that two. Okay. Here another example for you. Ramu is older than Dhamu. Ramu is older than Dhamu. Here see the highlighted word older. Here in comparisons we will use these kinds of words like older, sweeter, louder, like that words we will use to compare two things. Okay. And let us move to the next one, superlative. What do you mean by a superlative degree? Superlative degree which is used to show the best or the worst among something. To show that kind of things we are using this superlative degree. Here one example for you. Ramu is the oldest man in the village. Ramu is the oldest man in the village. See the highlighted word oldest. That means there are a lot of people in the village, but Ramu is the oldest man in that village. So superlative means to show the best or the worst among something. These are the three degrees of comparisons. Okay. Now I hope you understood. Let us go through the activity from your textbook. Take page number 22 from your textbook. And before that, I will introduce you some regular comparisons and some irregular comparisons. Here see the words sweet, sweeter, sweetest, small, smaller, smallest, bold, bolder, boldest, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, difficult, more difficult, most difficult. These are some examples. And there are some irregular comparisons also, that also we have to see. See, good, better, best. The first one is the positive degree, second one is the comparative degree and the third one is the superlative degree, good, better, best. And little, less, least, many, more, most, bad, worse, worst. These are some examples for this irregular comparisons. Now page number 22 in your textbook you are having one activity, activity 3. See the first three sentences. It was an old banyan tree. That is the first sentence. That means it is a simple sentence, so it is a positive degree. And see the second one, the tree was older than the house. That means the tree and the house are compared with each other, so we have to use the comparative degree. So older, the word older is used over there. And the third one, it was the oldest banyan tree in the town. There are a lot of other trees, banyan trees in the town, but this banyan tree, the particular banyan tree is the oldest one. Here the superlative degree is used. Okay. Now you are having some activities. Let us go through the answers. You try to find out the answers of your own. Okay. No other bird is as dash as the crow. Is it a positive degree? Is it a comparative degree? Is it a superlative degree? Which one? Yeah, it is a positive one. Here we are not at all using any comparison, we are not at all using any superlative degree. So, here this is a positive sentence and the answer for this question is no other bird is as clever as the crow. And see the second one, the grey mongoose was dash than the cobra. What do you understand by hearing that sentence? The grey mongoose was dash than cobra. That means this is a comparison. The grey mongoose was compared with the cobra. So, what will be the answer? The grey mongoose was more aggressive than the cobra. The grey mongoose was more aggressive than the cobra. And see the third one. The banyan tree was the dash place on the road. The banyan tree was the dash place on the road. That means there are a lot of other trees on the road and this banyan tree was the dash place on the road. Noisest, because superlative degree is used over here. And see the fourth one. The cobra was a dash fighter. What kind of sentence it is? Yeah, it's a positive degree. Then what will be the answer? The cobra was a skillful fighter. And the fifth one, the evening was dash than the morning. That means here evening and morning are compared. So, the answer is the evening was hotter than the morning. Okay. Now, the sixth question, the myna was as dash as the crow. Here no comparison, it is not a superlative one, so positive. The myna was as contented as the crow. And see the seventh one, it was the dash fight of the snake with the mongoose. It was the dash fight of the snake with the mongoose. The mongoose attempted lot of fights with the snakes and here is the worst, that means superlative degree. The answer is it was the worst fight of the snake with the mongoose. And see the next one, it was one of the dash vacations the boy had. That means it is a superlative degree. So, the answer is it was one of the most unforgettable vacations the boy had. See the next one, grandfather is the dash member of the family. That means a lot of members are there in the family and this grandfather is the oldest member of the family. And the last one, the mongoose darted in as dash as the cobra. It is a positive degree. So, as swiftly as the cobra. Okay, is it clear for you? Now, which are the three degrees of comparison? A positive degree, comparative degree and a superlative degree. What do you mean by a positive degree? That means a simple sentence is called a positive degree. And what about a comparative? Two things are compared with each other, that are called a comparative degree. And what about the superlative? To show the best and to show the worst among something, that is called a superlative degree. Is it clear for you? Okay, then let us move to the next part of the grammar. Have you heard about types of sentences in English? Which are they? How many types of sentences are there in English? Yes, there are 4 types of sentences in English and they are, which are they? Can you guess? They are, yes, assertive, imperative, interrogative and exclamatory. These are the 4 types of sentences. You are familiar with these all kinds of sentences and I will show you one activity. Okay, see the sentences. And these sentences are there in your textbook in page number 33. In activity 1, in language activity, there you can see all these sentences. These all are from your textbook. Just go through the sentences. I will read the sentences and I will read with a particular tone and you will be able to understand what kind of sentence it is. Then while I read the sentence, you can give the punctuation marks over there. And don't forget to do one thing, whenever you start a sentence, you have to use the capital letter, okay, that you don't forget. And wherever it is necessary, there you have to use the capital letters and you have to use the punctuation marks also. So, I will read the question for you and you do the answers while I read, then we can check the answers at last, okay. See, I am going to dictate it now and by hearing the tone of the sentence, you have to mark the answer, okay. The tree was older than the house. I saw a cobra and a mongoose fighting. I think you are getting the answer, right? Okay. What a spectacular sight! Will the mongoose kill the snake? Son, get down from the tree. Please answer me. Oh, what happy times those had been! What did man do to nature? Okay, I think you got the answers. Now let us check the answers with yours, okay? These are the answers for the question. See, in the first sentence, we have to start the sentence by using the capital letter and it is a simple sentence. So, we have to keep a full stop at the end. And the second one, the same thing, it is a positive sentence, start with the capital letter and at last we have to keep a full stop. Then the next one, what is spectacular sight? By hearing that we will be able to understand that it is an exclamatory sentence. So, we have to keep the exclamation mark at last. Will the mongoose kill the snake? It is a question. So, keep the question mark. Son, after that we have to keep an exclamation mark. Get down from the tree. There put a full stop. Please answer me. It is a request. So, keep a full stop at last. Oh, after that we have to keep an exclamatory mark. Then what happy times those had been. Keep a full stop. What did man do to nature? It is a question. So, here we come to know that there are 4 types of sentences in English and they are assertive, imperative, interrogative and exclamatory. And let us go through each kinds of sentences. Okay, the first one is assertive. This assertive sentence that can be divided into 2, positive and negative or affirmative and negative. These are the 2 kinds of sentence that will come under the assertive sentences. Okay. Then what do you mean by a positive sentence or affirmative sentence? It is a simple statement. A simple sentence is called a positive or affirmative sentence. See here, one example is there, the sun rises in the east. It is a simple sentence. Okay. That is called a positive sentence. See the negative one. The sentences which give negative meanings are called negative sentences. There will be some words which gives negative meaning to the sentence. Okay. See the example, Sam is not a good boy. Here not is the negative word that gives negative meaning to the sentence. And there are some other words in English that will give negative meaning to the sentence. Let us go through that words. These are the words hardly, scarcely, rarely, seldom, few, little. And these are the words which gives negative meaning to the sentences. Okay. You have to keep it in your mind these things, because if we are seeing these kinds of words in a sentence, that sentence gives a negative meaning. So, once again I will repeat these words: hardly, scarcely, rarely, seldom, few and little. These are some words which gives negative meaning to the sentence. Okay. Is it clear for you? Okay. Now, imperative sentence. The sentence which gives or which express a command or a request is called an imperative sentence. For example, get out of the class, shut the door, please give that pen. Means the first two things were the commands and the last one was the request. Here some examples are given. Get out, it is a command. Please come in, it is a request. Okay. So, to express command or request we use this imperative sentence. We can't see subjects over there in these kinds of sentences. Okay. Is that clear for you? Then the interrogative sentence. What do you mean by an interrogative sentence? You all are familiar with these kinds of sentences, aren't you? Yes, these are questions. Here one example is there. Who are you? Where are you living? These all are examples for interrogative questions. Okay. Then exclamatory sentence. What do you mean by an exclamatory sentence? Sentences which show or which express a strong feeling that are called exclamatory sentences. Here one example is given, what a wonderful idea. This is an example for an exclamatory sentence. Now, is it clear for you? There are different kinds of four kinds of sentences in English, and which are they? They are, yes, assertive sentences, then imperative sentences, interrogative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. In assertive sentences, we can see two kinds of sentences, the positive and the negative, or the affirmative and the negative. Is it clear for you? Okay. Now, what you have to do is take page number 34 from your textbook. In the last side, you can see some spaces are provided there. There, what you have to do? You have to find out, or you have to write down two examples for each kind of sentences. Okay. So, do not forget to do it as an activity. And see the activity 2. Open your textbook, all of you. Here 10 sentences are given, and what you have to do is, as an activity, you have to find out which is the positive sentence and which is the negative sentence, and you have to write it in the required columns. Okay. See the first one, I had built a small platform on the tree. Is it a positive or negative sentence? Yes, it is a positive sentence. So, you have to write it in the column for positive sentences. See the second one, I was not afraid. That is a negative sentence. Why? Because the word not is used there, that gives a negative meaning to the sentence. So, it is a negative sentence, that you can write in the negative column. Third one, grandfather had a very beautiful garden. This is a positive sentence. The combatants were not aware of my presence in the banyan tree. It shows that it is a negative sentence. I don't get any sleep at all. I don't get, that means it is a negative sentence. My first friend was a small grey squirrel. That means it is a positive sentence. The house was not electrified. It is a negative sentence, right? Then the snake slithered along my shoulder. It is a positive sentence. I was no mere image cut in granite. It is a negative sentence. The snake looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. It is a positive sentence. So, this is one of the activities that you have to do. You have to fill the columns by finding out which is the positive sentence and which is the negative sentence. Okay. Is it clear for you? Okay. Next activity, next sentences, go through the next sentences. Here some sentences are given, and some particular words are used over there that we already discussed. Some words like hardly, rarely, scarcely, the words which gives negative meaning to the sentence. By using that words, some sentences are written over here. Let us go through it now. Grandfather rarely smoked a pipe. It is a negative sentence. Why? Because the word rarely is used over there. The maid would hardly clean the garden. Hardly means it is a negative sentence. He could scarcely control his joy. Scarcely. I will seldom pray for you. Seldom. There are few snakes in the garden. That means few is a negative word. There is little water in the pond. That also a negative sentence. So, these words you have to keep in your mind. If these words are coming in a sentence, that sentence gives a negative meaning. Okay. Now, let us move to the next part of the grammar. That is called sentence analysis. Before moving to that part, what you have to do is, you should know what is a subject and what is a predicate. Okay. Do you know what is a subject? Yes, all are aware about a subject. What is a subject? The naming part of the sentence is called a subject. The naming part of the sentence is called a subject. Then, what do you mean by predicate? Easily we can say the rest part of the sentence is called the predicate. After the subject, what all things will come, that all will come under predicate. Okay. Or the part which tells something about the sentence is called something about the subject is called the predicate. Okay, that is a subject and a predicate. Here is an example for you. Raju went down. Which is the subject or which is the naming part of the sentence, or who is the doer of the sentence? Yes, Raju. Raju is the subject of the sentence, and which is the predicate. The rest part of the sentence is called the predicate, that is went down. Here in this sentence the predicate is went down. Okay, is it clear for you? The naming part of the sentence is called the subject and rest part of the sentence is called the predicate. In your activity 3 in page number 37, you have to know what is a sentence analysis, and for that you should know what is a phrase, what is a noun phrase and what is a verb phrase. Okay, here I am going to explain you what is a phrase. What is a phrase? A group of words which makes a sense but not a complete sense is called a phrase. What is a phrase? Phrase means a group of words will be there. It will make a sense but it will not make a complete sense. That is called a phrase. Here see the sentence, the sun rises in the east. Here the phrase in the east. It makes a sense but it does not make a complete sense. But if this part or if this phrase is added to the other part of the sentence, it will make a complete sense. Such parts of sentences are called, or such a group of words are called a phrase. That means a phrase, a group of is a group of words which makes a sense but it does not make a complete sense, that are called phrases. Okay, then noun phrase. Then what about noun phrase? A phrase means a group of words, and what about noun phrase? There will be a noun, and this noun alone will make a noun phrase, or if something are added to this something added to the noun, that also will together make a noun phrase. A word or group of words that does the work of a noun is called a noun phrase. It may be a word or a group of words that together does the function of a noun is called a noun phrase. See the sentence, an extremely beautiful girl without makeup. An extremely beautiful girl without makeup. Here an extremely beautiful girl, which is the head noun of the sentence. The girl is the head noun of the sentence, and other things are the modifier, adjective and all things are used over there. Then together it will make the noun phrase. An extremely beautiful girl is the noun phrase from this sentence. Okay. And what about verb phrase? A word or a group of words that will do the work of a verb is called a verb phrase. Or what else we can say? The predicate of the sentence is called the verb phrase. Do you understand? Okay, a word or group of words that does the work of a verb or the entire predicate is called the verb phrase. Here see the sentence, Rama had 3 books. Rama had 3 books, which is the subject of the sentence. Rama is the subject, and which is the predicate of the sentence, had 3 books. This predicate is also known as the verb phrase. So, it is easy for us to divide these two, the subject and the predicate. The naming part, that is called a noun, that is the noun phrase, and the rest of the sentence is called the verb phrase. Okay. Now, some activities are, some examples are given in your textbook, just go through it. Okay. In page number 37, activity 3. See the first sentence, the boys are playing in the ground. The boys are playing in the ground. Here the sentence, S means the sentence, that we can divide it into noun phrase and verb phrase. We should find out which is the noun phrase and verb phrase from this sentence. Okay. Then I think it's clear for you, and it will be easy for you to understand which is the noun phrase from the sentence and which is the verb phrase from this sentence. And which is the noun phrase? Which is the naming part? Yeah. That is the noun phrase of this sentence. Okay. And the rest of the part will be the verb phrase of the sentence. And here one more thing that you have to just keep in your mind, in the noun phrase, that the boys, that we can divide it into again 2 parts. Okay. The and boys. Boys means the head noun of the sentence. The head noun of the sentence is the head noun is boys. Okay. Have you heard about a and the? What is the name of that? Articles. Yes, articles. Very good. Then the is one of the articles. So here the article the is used over there, and after that the head noun is used over there, and together this article and head noun together it will make the noun phrase of this sentence. Okay, and the rest part of the sentence is called the verb phrase or the predicate. Okay, and see the next sentence. The old grandfather was helpless. The old grandfather was helpless. Which is the noun phrase? The old grandfather. Yes, your answer is correct. And which is the verb phrase from the sentence? Yes, was helpless. And here the old grandfather. Grandfather is the head noun. And what about the? It's an article. Then old. Old means it's an adjective. What do you mean by an adjective? Adjective is a word which is used to qualify a noun, that is called an adjective. Here grandfather is old. By using this word old adjective, the grandfather is qualified. So here this adjective, article and the head noun together will make the noun phrase. And some sentences are given in your textbook. What you have to do is you should find out the noun phrase and verb phrase from that sentences, and do it in your notebook as an activity. Okay. If you have any doubts regarding this portion, you can ask it in the comment box of this video. If you want to watch this video again, you can visit the YouTube channel of Goodness TV. Thank you.